Hello, my name is Jonah. I'm currently wrapping up my freshman year as a student at Georgetown University, and I made this presentation to explain some strategies for maximizing finance club involvement for new students who have an interest in finance. You may already have some idea of the involvements that you'd like to have here at Georgetown, but during your first few weeks, you will inevitably have many conversations with fellow freshmen about what clubs they're in the process of applying to or hope to join later on. There are hundreds of clubs offered, but if you want to pursue finance, a few names will inevitably come up. The Georgetown University Student Investment Fund, or GUSIF, ZEBA, the Georgetown University Investment Office, GUIO, and Global Platinum Securities, GPS. Technically, the last two aren't clubs, but the application process and acceptance rates are similar, as well as the information that you will learn through your work as an investment analyst. Regardless of whether you've set your heart on joining the best-known Georgetown finance clubs, you should be aware of your options and how these options can help to develop your interests and propel your career. But first, a few things to get out of the way before you start considering which clubs you'd like to apply to. First, most finance clubs on campus allow you to develop and apply very similar skills. Secondly, most finance clubs have a strong network of upperclassmen and alumni that can help you when you're trying to get an internship. And finally, most finance clubs will provide you with a good community with strong avenues to meet interesting and smart people. In terms of variety, the options you have for finance clubs can be tailored to your interests. If you're interested in real estate, there's a club for that. International investing, there's a club for that. And if you want a less formal environment to simply pitch companies that interest you at the time, there's a club for that. With that said, finding all these options can sometimes be difficult, as there are so many. Georgetown does have a platform with a club directory. However, this can be somewhat difficult to navigate, and it doesn't provide an opportunity to meet with club members face to face. Instead, better options for getting information will be from club flyers or by attending a club fair. The first place I'd go for information is a club flyer. These are typically placed around campus, but a good place to go to find them is on the wall in O'Shea Commons in the MSB. These flyers contain important dates like info sessions, coffee chats, and application due dates, as well as the club website so you can do more of your own research. Another great opportunity to learn more about club offerings is by attending a club fair. At these events, most Georgetown clubs will have a table with a representative that you can speak to. This is a great opportunity to learn from somebody who can tell you more about what you'd be doing as a club member. Getting to know people in a club you're hoping to join can also help your chances, so talking to these representatives can also help with gaining admission. This is another place where you can grab a club flyer, as they'll usually have them on the table as well. Once you have an idea of which clubs you're interested in, you should be aware of the club application timeline. Freshman students can't apply for membership to MSB clubs until their second semester, but that doesn't mean it's worthless to attend info sessions or to be proactive. All MSB clubs offer general membership, which doesn't require an application. As a general member, you will have access to a few education sessions throughout the semester, which can give you a sense for what you do as a member of a particular club. General membership is also a requirement to apply for actual membership to many clubs as a second semester freshman. And even if it isn't, it can help your chances of getting in. As a general member, you may be assigned an optional project, which can be considered while you're applying. Having connections within clubs can also improve your chances of being accepted when you apply to be an analyst, so you should use your general membership to ask questions and try to get to know people who may be able to help you out later on. As a first semester freshman, this is the best thing you can do to help yourself out when you want to have a shot at getting actual membership. Finally, you should keep in mind that many of these clubs have very low acceptance rates. There is nothing wrong with applying multiple times or even forgoing involvement, as it is absolutely possible to pursue a career in finance without a finance club on your resume. Next, we'll discuss a bit about what you can expect once you be admitted to a finance club. For your first year or two as a member in a finance club, it is much more about what you're getting out of your involvement. As a club member, you will likely start to attend weekly educational sessions, so you can learn some of the skills you'll need to help your club propose and vote on stock pitches. The skills specific education you will receive will train you to develop good habits like reading the news daily to stay on top of potential market trends. You will also learn some accounting, modeling, and research skills so that you can evaluate a stock based on company valuation and analysis. The other part of your education will likely involve some broad information on the different careers that exist in finance and what you will need to know to eventually work in them. Of course, education will vary club to club, as if you were in a real estate investment club, for example, much more of the skills you will learn will be tailored to that industry in particular. Regardless, by the end of your first semester, you should know enough to be involved in stock pitches and can start thinking about leadership positions you may want to pursue. The other benefit of your club involvement will come from upperclassmen and alumni. You can learn a lot from the upperclassmen in Georgetown Finance Clubs, as they will have recruited and secured a summer and analyst internship by the time they finish their sophomore year. This makes them very knowledgeable, especially if they are a senior and have already worked that internship and received a return offer. A big benefit of joining a finance club is that it gives you an avenue to interact more with these upperclassmen. By the time you are applying for summer internships during your sophomore year, these people can be a great resource to ask questions to and a practice for interviews. Access to club alumni is another large benefit of club involvement. Younger alumni can provide a lot of the same benefits as upperclassmen, as they are often happy to help with any questions that you may have. However, they can also be important connections that can help put you in contact with the right people or even serve as a reference. In the same way that knowing people in Georgetown clubs can help you get in, knowing the right people in finance can do a lot for your chances of securing an internship. While having the Georgetown name can increase the odds that these people will help you, if you also have a club involvement in common, that makes it even more likely that they will help you out. So that's the club landscape. General membership to financial analyst to leadership positions as you learn more about finance, and if you decide it's something you want to consider pursuing, apply for internships and work through the upperclassmen and alumni you meet as a club member. I hope this video was helpful to give you an idea of club culture at Georgetown and hopefully provide you with a good place to start.